Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. We're here with Matt Enos and Mike Urchin. They are filmmakers. They have a film showing in Belfast tomorrow at the Colonial. It's created and starring by by Matt, and it's an indie film that's been described as subversive, hilarious, and not for everyone. Guys, thanks for joining us this morning.
That's great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So what's this film called?
The movie is called Battle Legends: The Legend of Battle Master.
Cool. What's it about?
So, well, we wanted to do like as much of a classic 70s kind of martial arts style movie as possible.
Yeah.
But we live in Maine, and we're not exactly martial artists, even though we kind of look like we are.
Right.
I totally thought you were. Yeah.
It happens. But we watched a lot of that stuff growing up as kids, so
Yeah, a lot of
that's close enough.
The Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff. So it's kind of it has the look of the 70s because we like that aesthetic, but it's got the attitude of the 90s.
Right, right. And this was all based off of a TV show that people can already watch on YouTube,
Yes.
the Slim Duffy Show, right?
Yes. So we started doing this web series in 2016. Did it consistently for about 5 years. Always wanted to do a longer movie, just weren't really sure what it was going to be. And then decided to do something more genre specific to try to kind of get a wider audience.
We'd been building the characters over a sense of, number of years, and then like creating the environments that they live in and deciding how we're going to handle it, being that, it's very non sequitur. Things don't necessarily carry over from episode to episode.
But by genre specific, what are some words for that, do you think, that the film would be called?
Martial arts, comedy.
Yeah.
We always describe the show as surreal comedy, which
Yeah.
is kind of a weird thing to explain to people. Like, what does that mean exactly? And it doesn't really explain the whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
But just weird, right?
yeah,
It's
weird,
supposed to be
weird,
silly.
silly.
Yeah,
Offbeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. We
Awesome.
were watching some clips before you guys came in here. And it's funny too.
Right.
It
is
Thank
funny.
you.
It's sort of
Yeah.
like a live action cartoon. Like when
Right.
I describe it to people, a lot of the times they say it's animated.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but it should be. Like,
Right.
it's got those elements, very slapsticky cartoon elements.
Like the first episode lacked dialogue, but it was just so expressive that it's like, okay, I know what's going on here. But who's your audience, your preferred audience? Who are you reaching out to?
Anybody that's really into just cult stuff, independent,
Right.
low budget, just cinephiles,
Yeah,
I guess.
which
you
is
could
a lot
say.
of people who are into films. That's your audience.
I
Yeah.
really like the spirit of independent creation.
Yeah.
I think Hollywood films have their place, but I really like to see those films from a small group of people who just had the ambition to just do it.
Yeah.
Regardless of their skill sets or
Right.
qualifications to do so.
Yep.
And then you just kind of like let the cards, fall where they may and see what happens.
That's how you get
So-
better, too.
Absolutely.
Keep
That's
doing
why
it,
we
so,
were working on our body of content
Yeah.
for so long and like
Yeah.
really developing the world and the characters so that when we stepped into our feature, we had a good sensibility of like who these characters are.
Yeah, we were
Well,
probably
that's a
like a
win.
year into doing the show at least before we really figured the characters out. If you watch some of the earlier episodes, our voices are way different,
Yeah.
and we're still just kind of working through it. So
But that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are so funny, and it's going to be showing in Belfast, so it's got to mean a lot to you being local to
Absolutely.
that area.
That was the theater that we're showing our first feature film at, was the theater that I saw my first movie at,
Cool.
which was Aladdin back long time ago.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right. And this is tomorrow. Can you what do people need to know if they want to go?
it's tomorrow night at 6:30 in Dreamland
Cool.
At
the
the
Colonial.
Belfast
at the
Colonial
There'll
Theater.
be a Q&A afterwards. We'll
Oh,
get up and
lovely.
do a question and answer kind of audience
Awesome.
participation.
We've got some merchandise to
Amazing.
sell to help support our next feature that
Yep.
we're currently in pre-production on.
Cool.
So
Cool. So yeah, I mean, if you want to learn more, just Google Battle Legends, the legend of the Battle Master. And Matt and Mike, thanks for joining us this
thank
morning.
you.
Appreciate
We
it.
really
Of course,
appreciate you
yeah,
having us
yeah.
on.
Congrats
Thank you.
as well.
Thank you.
We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.